In October 2008, Development Workshop France was presented with the World Habitat Award by Mrs. Anna Tibaijuka, Executive Director of UN Habitat, in recognition of its Preventing Typhoon Damage to Housing in Central Vietnam programme. In May 2009, an international study visit organised by the Building and Social Housing Foundation brought together a diverse group of 24 housing practitioners from 16 countries with a view to sharing, transferring and learning about DWF's approach to reduce the impact of typhoons and flooding on people's lives. Central Vietnam has over 500 kilometres of coast directly exposed to the sea. The Trois Tien Huay province, where this programme is located, is hit by tropical storms at a rate of 4 or 5 a year or more, and between 60 and 70% of the population are at risk of losing their homes and livelihoods. In the aftermath of each disaster, families are left to cope with the cost and effort of reconstruction of their homes using their own limited resources. Since the year 2000, DWF has worked in partnership with local governments and families to strengthen their homes, so that when a typhoon or flood hits, there is far less damage, if any, to their property. Over 1,300 typhoon-resistant houses have been provided to date directly through the programme, and having seen their ability to withstand the impact of typhoons, many other households are now using the same approach.
Key principles of typhoon-resistant construction, and these remain at the core of the work we undertake here.
The 10 safe construction principles promoted apply to the shape of the building, location, roof angle, reinforcing, closable doors, good connections between structural elements and tree planting. It is important to be able to seal the house using doors, windows and shutters, and to achieve a degree of rigidity and solidity in the walls.
To get back to a house like this is a very typical house as we see today. It's going to cost you about $1,200 to $1,400.
The activity at the heart of the programme is encouraging families to apply these 10 key principles of safe storm and flood-resistant construction, giving their houses the ability to withstand potentially devastating typhoons and flooding. One of the most important and easily applied of the principles that families are urged to include, even if other measures cannot be, is keeping the roof covering firmly attached to the roof structure. Special brackets are used to fix the tiles in place, and steel bars running down the outside of the roof help to reinforce it further. A simple yet effective intervention. The international study visit gave participants the opportunity to meet with families who have improved their houses as part of the DWF programme. Families were able to share their perspectives and experiences of living with typhoons and floods, and how the DWF approach has increased their ability to improve not only their housing conditions but also their quality of life.
Còn đây là một cái nhà mà mình dự án để rất là hỗ trợ để gia cố. Còn các cái đong tay và các keo nên là trên là phải bỏ thêm, mình phải gia cố thêm vách sắt hoặc là mình bỏ sắt thép để mình liều cái đong tay xuống tường thì cũng giống như công tác như là mình làm vậy.
Distilling the safe construction and disaster prevention approach into 10 key principles is critical, enabling them to be communicated as widely as possible using, for example, clear and concise posters. For the prevention methods to be effective, a high emphasis is placed upon spreading the message throughout the communities. DWF works with schools to train teachers so that they can teach children the principles of disaster prevention, which can then be relayed to their families.
And the content of the lesson on disaster prevention in schools to children.
These children at one time having used the lessons taught here in disaster management and applied them at home.
They have to lie on the floor because the boat can blow up the children. Vậy là tấm lợp lên trên phải buộc thật chặt, câu này chắc lâu, đảm làm cửa trước, cửa sau, các cửa sắp xỉ bằng nhau không thường. Chính là cửa đóng hít vào, cửa lên, cửa trước, ngang người ở lại.
Roleplay is an effective way for the children to share what they have been learning with their families and the wider community. Communication is as important a feature of the programme as technical action. The children learn through a variety of media, including children's theatre, workshops, painting competition and games.
So right now they're doing a sandbag game, so they're making sandbags to create artificial dikes against the floods. So in this game, the team who makes the highest wall wins, apparently.
Through working with local commune governments, each covering 4 or 5 villages, the programme has had a wide impact in increasing public and technical awareness of the need to take preventative action to strengthen buildings and the knowledge of how to do this. Without the relationship with communities, this would not have been possible.
Under this project, is it only like the houses is being reinforced, or there is also a new construction has been done?
The study visit participants met with members of the community to understand their role in the process by which their village and its leaders engaged with the DWF programme. DWF took the opportunity of the international study visit to bring together government officials and practitioners from across Vietnam for a one-day national forum on safer housing. They came to share experiences with each other, DWF, local partners and the study visit participants from across the world.
Then we know the urban growth, the urbanization process.
The participants were able to share about their own work at the National Forum and throughout the study visit, facilitating valuable exchange between the participants in the discussions that followed. The houses of 1,300 low-income households have been strengthened directly as a result of the programme. However, having seen the ability of these houses to withstand floods and typhoons when others didn't, many other households in the local communities are choosing to use the safe construction principles in their own homes.
And also when the typhoon comes, we hold this here, and it's also great ambition.
The DWF approach is being progressively adopted by local communes and provincial authorities in Vietnam. Training is provided to local builders in all communes where DWF works in order to improve the general quality of construction and to develop a broader range of skills in disaster-resistant construction. To date, over 500 builders have been trained. At the conclusion of the visit, the participants were able to apply the approach used by DWF in its work with school children as they developed their own improvised role-play featuring a typhoon scenario. Reflecting on their time in Vietnam and the DWF approach to preventing typhoon damage, participants shared what they would be taking away to adapt and apply to their own work.
Put it like this so that this can protect us, our glass panes, window panes and all that from the wind. So really it's a replicable thing even within the community itself. So like that this we can take it up to our place. And
I have found that from the town up to the rural corner of their houses, they are practicing this technology. Because I have to appreciate BWF staff here because that message really transferred to the needy. Because I have found that there are assistants, people working, but without their assistance, the same thing doing by the household.
So we were told by our commune leader in a commune meeting, and that is something that probably in my country we could replicate. You know, how to communicate ideas and how to work harder at incorporating our own culture into the new ideas that are coming.